Just, I think her mic is on. I think she's just sit as close as you can and get in as close to that mic.
Okay. Suppressed speech on college campuses has been an ongoing issue. College campuses have become exceedingly divided, causing an uninviting environment for differing opinions. We as students, policymakers, and administrators need to create meaningful change on campus. It is essential all students feel comfortable, safe, and valued on the campus. We need to foster an environment where open dialogue is encouraged and differing opinions are respected. By uniting, we can foster this environment, as collaboration allows for more meaningful and lasting change. The growing polarization, now visible to even those beyond campus life, reveals a deeper systemic issue in our country. Polarization suppresses free expression, as individuals may hesitate to voice their own beliefs, especially if they differ from the social norms established on campus. Universities are supposed to be places that allow for open dialogue and civil discourse, not places that suppress free speech. However, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression found Wisconsin places in the bottom 25 nationally for comfort expressing ideas. Political climates on campus should not deter students from furthering their education. An individual's political beliefs should not define who a person is on campus. The university's value statement states, "Civil discourse is a longstanding priority of our campus, and here at UW-Madison, we believe the ability to exchange, consider, and challenge different ideas is central to the educational process." UW-Madison has failed to meet the standards they have set forth. Campus has not been a place that allows different ideas to be expressed. In addition, Chancellor Mnuchin recently gave a speech at the Reagan Institute Summit saying, "It is a call to all of us to double down on the importance of what we are doing on campus. To encourage our students and our faculty to learn to disagree better and to learn to engage with another." If the statement was highlighted in the speech, it should be reflected through meaningful implementation, not just performative measures. Legislation protecting all students' freedom of speech and expression is critically important. The UW employs a distinct but questionable approach to faculty hiring, raising concerns. The faculty hiring process plays a significant role in the increasing polarized environment the campus has developed. Currently, the hiring process essentially allows other faculty to hire new employees rather than the upper administrators. A hiring process as such does not typically occur in most professions. Systems like this or similar to this do not allow for a fair hiring process, inhibiting the hiring of varying perspectives. The systemic structure of higher education reinforces the idea that this behavior is acceptable. Alternatively, UW recently came out with a neutrality clause due to their prior issues with the university expressing its opinion on political issues. In 2024, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression found that 66% of faculty say college and universities should not take positions on political and social issues. Public institutions should refrain from taking explicit stances on political issues, as students are highly impressionable and should be encouraged to form their own independent viewpoints. I had a professor who prioritized a politically neutral classroom, and I learned the most in this class. I did not know where my professor stood politically, which is how it should be. Universities should be modeling neutrality and open dialogue, reinforcing the importance of respectful discourse rather than endorsing a particular ideology. The university's response to the polarization on campus has included implementing civil discourse initiatives. The initiative programs include deliberation dinners, Wisconsin Exchange, the Discussion Project, and the Pluralism and Unity Advisory Board, which I am on. During our meeting, students and faculty discuss controversial issues on campus. I believe promoting pluralism is a significant stride in the right direction. Until UW can create an environment where everyone's voice is equally accepted and heard, the initiative programs discussed above will not be successful. Disallowing students from expressing their viewpoints limits students, our future leaders, from engaging in meaningful and respectful dialogue across differing perspectives. Daily, I often feel unable to express my views in class because my perspectives differ from my peers. When I do share my opinions, I'm frequently met with disapproving looks or immediate debate. At times, I choose to remain silent to avoid constant confrontation. Several conservative students have expressed similar experiences. We often feel alienated or viewed as outsiders, which creates an uncomfortable and discouraging classroom environment. Last semester, I received a lower grade due to my final paper incorporating ideas leaning conservative. I emailed my professor and teaching assistant to ask why my grade was lower than normal. I compared my essay to the rubric, quoting how I directly incorporated the requirements into my final. My professor's response included giving me partial points back, but not enough to substantially change my grade. Many students who have encountered similar situations felt they needed to censor their assignments and adhere to what the professors wanted to hear. Professors create syllabi intended to weed out students who do not agree with them. After this instance, I felt more empowered to stand up, but in most cases, students tend to have an adverse reaction, resulting in students' voices being silenced. Right here is a prime example proving how universities have been infringing on students' First Amendment right to freedom of speech. I had a classmate who had experienced political hostility after displaying a campaign sign on her dorm room door. She put a political sign on her door, similar to what other students were participating in, except in her case, her sign was torn down multiple times. Following the incident, she reported the issue, but UW took no further action to address the situation. UW should support students in situations like this. The social effects hostility caused were detrimental. Students on the same dorm floor refused to speak to her, which made her feel isolated. Tearing down her sign and taunting her is the start of political violence. Validating the statistics stating that 35% of students say using violence to stop someone from speaking on campus is acceptable, at least in rare cases. Reports indicate an upward trend in students perceiving physical violence as an acceptable response to disagreement. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression found that 76% of students say shouting down a speaker to prevent them from speaking on campus is acceptable, at least in rare cases. These numbers used to be lower, but due to the political climate our campus has developed, they have been on the rise. It is imperative to educate the younger generation on the idea violence is never the answer, and behaviors representing violence are not acceptable. If we fix this issue of suppressed speech on college campuses and expanded the free speech policies and due process procedures, 70% of conservative students would not be afraid to express their perspective on controversial issues for fear of being downgraded for their views. A change in culture will be a long and challenging process, but I believe AB 501 is a great step towards sparking meaningful change. Thank you again, Chair and members of the committee, for allowing me to testify on AB 501. I'm open to answer any questions you may have.
Should we let them both go first? We'll let you testify and then we'll question you both.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you, Chairman Murphy, and all members of the Committee on Colleges and Universities for inviting me to testify today. My name is Courtney Graves, and I'm a junior studying political science and economics at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I also serve as the co-president of College Republicans and the chairwoman of Young Americans for Freedom here on campus. As both a student and a campus leader, I firmly believe